Hello, people of the internet. Welcome back to my podcast, LiberarLa El Movimiento, the podcast that I created to inspire, empower, and liberate women around the world. Now, in this episode, we're sitting down with an innovative creator that saw a need in an industry that people really weren't paying attention to. You see, when I saw this ad come up on my feed, I had seen it time and time again. I work as a pole fitness instructor. And so my strippers, my ladies who work in burlesque shows, they are constantly needing little cover ups on their titties. And so when I saw them promoting, like, hey, I have these stickers that can do little tap to pay when you need tip me, I was like, bitch, what the fuck is this? Who thought of this? There was a story behind this creation. And so when I started my burlesque show, I said, I need these. I need these for my girls. And so I got in contact, with none other than NipTip. And Joey responded to me so dearly. And I am so grateful that he took the time to sit down with us because, guys, this inspiration of a story is nonetheless going to impact so many lives. And when I tell you, I'm so grateful not only that he'll take the time to sit with us, but really explain to us what he's trying to do here. I want you guys to make sure you take the time to listen to this whole episode because he's about to lay it down for you guys. So welcome in, Joey. Thank you again for
Wow, what an intro. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes. And so, like I mentioned, you came on my feed throughout different people I were following in the pole industry, but can you tell us a little bit about NipTip and how you started for the first time? What inspired you, Joey, to create it?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, thank you so much for having me, Alex. I do really appreciate the opportunity. And hello, ladies out there. So yes, my name is Joey Saint. I am the founder, creator, and owner of NipTip, the guy behind it all. And so what started NipTip? NipTip has an actual unique story. I actually was in a horrible car accident in the inception of NipTip. This is why I'm missing a whole tooth and all. And like while I was recovering, I was basically paralyzed. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk for months on end. I had to relearn how to walk, had to relearn how to talk. And through those dark times, I I had this idea. One of my friends actually called me while I was on the couch. The couch is basically my home at that point. And he called me and he's like, "Hey, bro, I know you're feeling down in the dumps. Like, let's go to the strip club. Let's get you, like let's get some more spirit in you and stuff. Let's see some hot girls or like whatever." And I'm paralyzed at this time, so I'm like, "Bro, I can't even walk. Get off my phone." And I hang up. And I turned on the TV and I just saw a random commercial for Cash App, which I've never seen in my life.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it was like a eureka moment.
Mhm.
I I was like, hey, what's a cool way where I can get ladies in the club to keep their cash tips and collect digital tips.
Mhm.
And on top of that, I already know that, the tip culture is kind of dwindling when it comes to cash tips. So this can be helpful for so much people, but like what would the product be? Like how can I make it discreet? How can I make it fun? How can I make it empowering? And how can I make it specifically catered to women? And at the time, I was also going through a horrible breakup with my ex-girlfriend. I didn't even know what pasties were called, So I was just like, at the time, I was just like, hey, babe, like, what's those things that girls put on their boobs to cover them? And she's like, pasties. Like, I have some. And she ran upstairs to my old place, grabbed some pasties, and handed it to me. And, I spent the past 3 days on that couch, really just trying to figure out how can I revolutionize this? Like, how can I make this even more better? Like, pasties have been around for decades and decades and decades. And they've all just been the same thing. I've never really seen anything different. Um, I'm not sure if there's other different types of pasties out there at that time. So I ended up using the tech that I was using for my clothing brand that I had called 1820. It
Mhm.
was basically hoodies and streetwear clothing where you can tap it and it'll go to a curated playlist.
Mhm.
And that's a trauma story in itself for that brand. But I ended up using that same tech and converting it into pasties. And from there, that's when NipTip just was
That was
birthed.
that was it. Oh my gosh. And what year was that happening?
This was actually last year.
No way.
Yeah. So I started all of this May of last year.
I've seen, like I said, I follow so many people in the pole industry. And
Mhm.
so I've seen you all over their pages, and I just assumed, this has been maybe something that people didn't know about, but to find out it's only been last year, you have, like you said, revolutionized this industry. But there's so many other people I think that are going to need this that still haven't heard about it. So many clubs that haven't realized, hey, we need to get with the times. Things need to be digital. And if you're not going to be digital, you're going to lose out on opportunities.
Exactly, exactly, and it's a little bit even more than that in my eyes. It's you need to do right by the people that's supporting your business. You need to do right by the people that's bringing business into your business. A lot of these ladies are being taken advantage of within clubs. A lot of these ladies, they they get their money taken from them. There's mothers, there's some grandmas out there. Um, And I really want to create an ecosystem, a product, and a business that's truly here to help the creator and help, the everyday person.
Mhm.
Um, I'm never claiming that my product is going to make people rich, but it'll help on a light bill. It'll help
Mhm.
with your son or your daughter to, get something to eat. It'll help have fun. And I've the amount of people that's messaging me, whether it's DMs, emails, or text messages saying that they made like $900 tonight. Or there was a girl that called me and she was kind of like tearing up and joy, saying like how much she felt alive again because she was a breast cancer survivor, and she kind of felt depressed because when she looks in the mirror she doesn't really see herself anymore.
Mhm.
And this kind of helped her found power within herself in the most funnest way possible, and she got paid for it. So, like things like moments like that, it's just what's so powerful.
And it's crazy to see when you impact somebody's life in that way that, maybe you didn't expect. You're like, how do I create this innovation and help people empower them with what they're doing? But I don't think we realize sometimes as creators, like we have this vision, but to empower somebody, who's dealt with something like that so heavy, dealing with going through cancer and then being empowered to be able to make money off of our tetas like that, that's fucking amazing. That's such an inspirational story. And on top of that, like for yourself, that's really what we do it for. Like you said, I've been here doing it. I don't freaking sleep sometimes. My friends are like telling me, hey, you need to calm down. But this is what I do it for. I see the impact. I see
Yeah.
my vision coming to life, and I know it's for a reason. And so, all that to say, when we connected, you're like, yes, I'll freaking connect with you. I love Tucson. I lived in Tucson. So, I want to hear a little bit of that story and how Tucson impacted you in your, inspiration of being a creator or just in life.
Yeah, I mean, Tucson is top three of my three places I want to live for the rest of my life. Um, that's just the God honest truth. I've had an amazing time at Tucson. I'm a Miami kid, born and raised, and I was a degenerate. Let's just say that. Okay, like I grew up very rebellious. I've always been kind. I've always been respectful, but at the end of the day, I was just a nutcase. And as I was growing up, when I moved out to Tucson, I think I was probably like around 25.
Mhm.
Um, I've being that Tucson is so slow compared to Miami, like you guys in Tucson are like living 10 years behind. So it was just like kind of a culture shock.
Mhm.
You know, like me being the city kid, Miami, kind of fast paced, and going to, the complete desert, and just seeing how kind everybody is, and just how just beautiful the landscape and the scenery and just the nature. Like I saw mountains for the first time in Tucson, so it really pulled me in, and it honestly brought a level of peace in my heart. Like I told you before, I used to go to Mount Lemon all the time. I even have made silly little like TikTok reel or TikTok videos on Mount Sentinel,
Okay. I'm
and
gonna get those.
and yeah, like it was just super. It was just so fun. It was so peaceful. I really got to live in my peace,
Mhm.
you know. And I met some really great people out there too. The tacos, amazing. There was I can't remember the name for the life of me, but there was this taco spot out near Foothills, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if it's taco stand or I forgot what it is, but it was just amazing food, amazing culture, amazing people,
I love
and I really missed it.
because I actually was out downtown promoting my burlesque show, handing out flyers, and I was like, come to my burlesque show, come to my burlesque show. And Tucson's very welcoming. I think it's just maybe, the Mexican influence.
Mhm.
Everybody's like, yeah, bring your cousin, bring your friend, bring like we're having a party, like let's go, let's come together. Let's enjoy the time. That's just, kind of the vibes down here. In my burlesque show, I've done the tagline, you're gonna learn how we do it down south.
Mhm.
Because here, it's a fucking party and everybody loves to welcome each other for a party. And like, let's just party it up. Let's have a good time and let's enjoy each other's company. It's very welcoming. And it was funny, as I was meeting people that weren't from Tucson, they're like, why is everybody so nice here? Like, why are people saying hi to me? Why are they like wanting to talk to me? They're like, I'm from a place, where my neighbors never known my name. And I was like, no, like people want community here. And yeah, we're a big ass city, but I think it's the influence, of the Mexican culture of we're just a one big happy family. And I mean, not to say there's not some craziness going down in fucking Tucson sometimes, but for the most
Yeah,
part,
I've seen some stuff.
yeah, people for the most part are very welcoming if you like accept that and are open to, people coming around and being like, hey, let's go dancing together. But I love the influence that you've had over Mount Lemon because that's something as somebody who grew up in Tucson, I didn't realize that the rest of the world doesn't have these beautiful, beautiful views.
Yeah.
And I take it, for granted sometimes, but I love the sunsets here. They're so
Oh,
beautiful.
they're one of one.
And I
Honestly.
love that you're saying, I could live there forever. One of your top three. What are your other top places that you could live that you mentioned?
So yeah, so I do have top three. Now that I remember, actually, I was storage unit in Tucson. I need to pick up, but I have a top three. So there's Tucson, Arizona. There's Philadelphia. It's, the first place I've ever moved to in my life by
Shout
myself.
out to Philly. I'm an Eagles fan. I bleed green.
Hey, and also I'll say Dallas as well. Dallas was a really cool experience for me too.
That's awesome. What brought you to Dallas?
No, surprisingly, it was a girl.
Oh, one thing or another, it's sometimes love, huh?
It's sometimes love, but we're great friends now, and we're actually really great friends now. And I it was another culture shock too. Like I've never been around so much diversity when I was in Dallas.
Yeah.
Um, the there's a good amount of sports heads. It was really great parties. Um, I like to say that I had a great time out there. I don't really remember most of the times when I was out there partying, but Dallas was cool in my youth. I stepped out the house and moved out and started traveling probably when I was like 19. And like I said, I was rebellious, so I just went out and just did whatever I wanted to do.
Well, of course, you're rebellious. You created this concept that really is going to innovate all these workers who are showing off their tatas. So you had to start rebellious from somewhere. I love it. All that to say, when you created this product and maybe throughout the process of becoming the Joey you are today that created NipTip, because I know for myself, maybe I started my business back in 2020, but I've always kind of been building my business in one way or another, learning how to build websites, learning how to market myself, learning how to network myself. So it all tied together when I built my business. Like, wow, I've really been doing this for a long time. And I know you mentioned like you were just trying to create this idea with these pasties, but were there moments that, other people doubted your concept? And how did you stay committed even when there was doubt?
So the funny thing about that, I can also relate when you say, in the background, you really don't, in hindsight, you don't realize that you're learning all these different skills that's applicable to your business in the future. That's exactly what happened with me. I've always been a creative guy. Um, and coincidentally, all those things that I created in the past trickled down to, what I'm doing now. And this is why I can move so efficiently and do so much at one time, because I've learned all those skill sets in the past. As far as, I'm so sorry. I think I lost train of thought. What?
No
It
worries.
was,
The question was, how did you stay committed when people doubted what you were doing?
yes. So the funny thing about that is nobody really doubted this. As soon as they saw it, they realized, holy snap, you just create something that's going to work. The one person that did doubt it was one of the most important people in my life at the time.
Mhm.
And that was the woman that I loved. Being that nip tip was just a concept when I was, on that couch paralyzed. Um, she was the only person that, I could literally let see the vision in its totality. And, even though she verbally said, "Oh yeah, it's going to be great, it's going to be awesome," blah blah blah. Behind closed doors, it didn't play out that way when it came to other people and all that mess. And when I discovered all that, it really drove a wedge in my confidence
Mhm.
and my confidence in myself, as a man, as someone that's used to providing, and the confidence in my creation. I when you love in my eyes, when you love somebody, I throw my all into that person,
Mhm. I
you
feel
know,
that.
and like even if I'm a nutcase, I'm a nutcase for you.
Yeah. The thing
So
is when you're so passionate in life, you're building this business. You have a passion, you're driving, you're fucking up all night wanting. When you have all this passion, you're passionate that way about everything, whether it's
exactly.
relationships, friendships, your business, you have that passion. I think people have to realize like that passion sometimes is craze. What can I say?
Yeah,
Passion comes with a little bit of fire. Deal with it.
yeah, yeah. Just gotta suck it up, and deal with it. But yeah, like being the opposite of what was told to me verbally, it did crush my spirits. I will say that. But the people who lifted me up, seriously, is the same people that I'm trying to uplift as well.
Mm, yeah.
So that made me go even harder for these ladies, for all you ladies.
Yeah.
At the worst time, like, you're talking to a guy who, when I was in Philly, I got stabbed, I got shot. Again, I've been into a horrible car accident. I've lived a very reckless life. But when I was on that couch and I was contemplating really bad thoughts, and I also was like, am I ever going to walk again? Am I ever going to be myself again? The ladies who believed in what I was creating or what I am creating, they were the same women that spoke to me every single day.
Mm,
They were the same women that was like, you can't give up. I believe in this. They supported me in a way that I've never felt support, and that made me trap myself in the house. This is a very true story. I trapped myself inside of my home for a full 365 days. I didn't go outside at all unless it was to get my mail or my Uber Eats. And I focused on the brand and finding ways to celebrate, uplift people in the most funnest way possible.
Mhm.
And probably I want to say around 8 to 9 months, maybe 10 months after the accident, I was fully recovered. I can walk, I can talk, I can jump, I can run, I can do all that stuff. I'm just
Congrats.
missing a tooth.
I mean, one thing at a time. Fucking being able to walk after being paralyzed, dude. That's I
Yeah,
would love to, touch on what mind power you had to build on that, because I know it's not just working out, physical therapy. It's that mindset that you have to
yeah.
build.
Yeah, I was in real dark times. I was simultaneously in excruciating pain, not able to walk, realizing that this is over for my life now. I'm not gonna be the same Joey I always was. And then at the same time going through a horrible breakup with someone I love.
Mhm.
So it was a really bad time. And I'm sitting on this idea that I'm thinking is a gold mine, but I don't know, maybe it's not because the woman that seed me created is saying that it's not. So like it was just really confusing for me. But the people that cleared that path to make me realize that I have something that can help more and more and more people, and they're speaking life into me. I had to give up everything. I had to give up my friends. I had to give up my vices. I had to throw away the old Joey to become this Joey for the people that I am trying to support.
Oh my goodness, preach on that, Joey. I feel that so much because with my dance classes, I talk about I created these classes more so because I know I needed it. When
Mm,
I was healing through my eating disorder, I could choose to be online messaging these people that were encouraging my vices, encouraging me to, continue in my bad habits.
yeah,
Or I could go to this space, this dance class where people are going to uplift me. They're going to tell me, hey, I see you're strong and I know you could be stronger. Go ahead and do that again. And those people who are going to see your vision and see you for who you are right now and appreciate it, but also tell you you still have more work to do. And
yeah,
so like I appreciate hearing that story of, the nip tip babes are who fucking are empowering you, because ultimately it's who you surround yourself with. And in your circle, are you going to have people who, help you, or are you going to have people who are taking away from your light? And ultimately, you sometimes have to, I talk about the dark night of the soul. Sometimes when you're going through that journey of hero's journey, becoming from where you were to where you're going,
mm,
there's like this journey of you like, I don't feel aligned necessarily with all this stuff. I have to get rid of my vices. I have to get rid of, these people who don't support me and this love that I thought was going to be it for me, but it's not, because they're not supporting me in the way that I know I should be.
yeah.
And so like knowing that, there's going to be this dark time where it's like you're becoming, but ultimately know in that process of becoming, like the journey is where it's at. And knowing how you locked yourself in and we're like, I'm getting this done. And on top of that, I'm going to fucking relearn how to walk in the whole process too, bitches. Like that's a fucking story, Joey. And I love to hear all the behind the scenes, because I think a lot of times people might see, your brand and what you're creating and what you're doing online, but they
Yeah.
don't see
They
behind the
don't know.
they didn't see you were fucking struggling. They didn't see you were going through it. And on top of having to learn to walk, you had to mend your broken heart. It's like I'm doing all this thing trying to lock in, hone in to help somebody with their issues, because all this craziness is going on. And this is what I know I could do. This is know what I could put into the world. So like it's such an inspiration to see the innovation you brought. And I know not only is this going to impact, the industry here, but it's going to impact everybody around the world, dude. Because like I said, what you are doing with these brand ambassadors and playing into social media, I have been seeing it all over. And I know I've already seen it, in my opinion, pop off. But I know as it continues to grow and you continue to have your nip tip babes like supporting you, there's no way that this isn't going to take over the world, dude. Like you said, like the saw it, we're like, no, this is shit. Like this, it's gonna pop off. And it is like every time I, see a different brand ambassador, I'm like, okay, he got to them. He's freaking doing this shit. And you got to me because I was like, I need these. I need down south on my bitches' titties for Queens of the South experience. So
I
like
got you, mama. I got you.
yeah, and I love that you connected to me so quickly, because you'd be surprised. I tell a lot of people, like, you have to make it easy for people to buy from you. I don't understand. Sometimes, people have these ideas and they put so much work into it, but then they don't make it easy to make the purchase happen. And so, like, seeing all that you've done and how you built your website, and on top of that, as soon as I freaking did my form, you're like, sorry, I was late. I was like, it hasn't even been that long, Joey. I'm like, in such a timely manner. Like, do you know how many people I've been like having to leave voicemails for and multiple follow-up emails for because they don't like make it easy to give them money to buy from them. And I'm like, dude, I really want this thing. So I appreciate that you thought, it wasn't a timely matter. I was like, dude, you're over there killing shit. You're amazing for connecting with me and ultimately allowing us to have NipTip at our shows, because that's really what we connected with in the beginning is, hey, I saw you do these stickers and I need some of those. So it's crazy to see and understand all of NipTip's explosive growth, because like I said, I didn't even realize you had just started last year. I've just assumed with how big you built your brand already that this has been in the works for a while. Now, with that being said, NipTip isn't just about the functionality of tap to pay on somebody's titties. It's unique. It has bold branding. Can you talk about the intentions behind that?
So yeah, as far as the intention behind it, it's you know, you ladies are the inspiration of my creation, and you are the you ladies are also the canvas of what I can paint on. Um, I'm trust me, my my branding and some of the visuals when it comes to the pasties themselves, for me, it's a bit PG. I can go way more crazier. It's just, I'm still trying to pull back and still trying to test to see what works and who is this for. But there's multiple different communities that's inside of the NipTip ecosystem. And I want to create representation for each and every different community. Like I truly support all of you ladies, and all of you ladies are so fucking dope at like the specific things that you do and your talents and just who you are. And I really want to celebrate it. Like I really want to show it off. I really want to have something that when you feel it, you can identify it with yourself, because it's what you do, it's who you are, it's what you believe in. I just stumbling on my words. I just reformatted the whole design of NipTip, and now I'm doing specific collections catered to specific communities. So I have like I have the brown sugar collection, the brown sugar baby collection, and that's for all of the chocolate ladies out there.
Yeah.
I have the Got Pride, and that's because Pride Month just passed, and I wanted to show something that represents Pride. And there's so much different collections that is specifically for the communities, and that's kind of where my ideas came from when it came to showing off these communities. I'm not sure if I'm doing a good job. I'm not sure if I'm doing a bad job. I just want people to know that NipTip truly, truly loves you. NipTip respects what you believe in and who you are and your communities. And I just want to create something fun for your community so you can represent it and make money.
I love that. Well, I mean, you are doing amazing things. So I just want to freaking give you that and give you your props. I know you said give me my flowers. I'm giving you your flowers, dude, because man, it's been changing the game. And you mentioned this is just you behind the scenes. Obviously, you have your people you connect with and your brand ambassadors and your NipTip babes. But can you tell me a little bit about what the day-to-day operations of growing your business looks like as a solo entrepreneur?
Oh, for any fellow entrepreneurs out there that's just starting, prepare to not have a life. Okay?
I say I don't work 9 to 5 for somebody, so I could wait 24 hours for myself.
Yeah, I work I mean, the nip tip babes and anybody that really sees my work ethic can attest to this. Um, I work 48 hours out of the day. You know, um, I I completely gave up on a lot of the fun vices that I had. You know, I completely dropped a lot of friends. Some of them extremely old friends I've known for 20 plus years. Um, I cut all dead weight and I cut all fat out of my life. You
Mm,
know,
yeah.
um, if for the solo entrepreneur that really wants to build something that's either going to revolutionize something, that's either if you're focused on your goal, you have to live your life as if you have already made it within that success and what that put like envision what that person looked like and what they would be doing. And that's how I'm operating with mine. My day to day, it's very depressing. I've been up, this is the God honest truth. I've been up for the past, I want to say 5 days consecutively. I have not slept yet.
Mm,
And prior to that, I probably slept 4 hours and then been up another five.
yeah.
And it's been like that for the past 11 months. You know, anybody that's listening to this, you can just ask any one of my collaborators or nip tip babes. They have actual proof of it. I sleep on the floor next to my desk.
Yeah.
And on the floor, there's my laptop that's connected to my TV, which I'm coding on my desk is scattered with pasties. Um, and I have my phone, another backup phone, and an iPad right in front of me because I still have to manage the everyday operational tasks.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Flat.
there is no time for anything that's going to waste time for me getting to my goal and what I'm trying to achieve. And at the same time, I'm also still learning. I've never been in the pasty industry, or I've never had a business that's catered and specific to women and tailored to women. And I've never had a business like this. This is actually my first real business.
Hmm.
So I'm still learning at the same time. And I'm still trying to build connections, and I'm still trying to create this ecosystem. Like I'm not this huge brand. At least I don't think I am. And even when I am a huge brand, I'm still going to be like I'm still trying to build. I
Hmm.
um I try to be as humble as I possibly can. And with me being humble, um, it allows me to strip my ego and make me realize that I ain't shit.
Hmm.
And this is not about me.
Yes.
So this is why you really don't see me on social media, because
Hmm.
it's truly not about me. This is about celebrating you all. This is why I have like my creator spotlights.
Yeah.
This is why I try to repost as much of the Niptip Babes or just anybody that's creating content. I try to repost as much people as possible.
Yes.
Um,
That was what I was curious about. Can you tell us, a little bit about your first collaborations with Knit Tip Babes and like how that first started?
oh gosh, my first collaboration with Niptip Babes is when I was on the couch. When I
Okay.
was on that couch staring, I don't know if you ever seen Kill Bill.
Yes, I love Kill Bill.
Do you remember that scene where she's in the back seat of the pussy wagon?
Yes, so she has to like pull herself out because her legs don't work. Yes.
Exactly. And she's staring at her toes saying wiggle.
Hmm.
That was dead ass basically what I was doing on that couch. And at the
Okay.
same time, I'm trying to like create pasties with my hands that I can barely move. And you know, I just was scrolling through TikTok and Instagram and just reaching out to as much creators as I possibly could, just cold DMing from an account that only had 48 followers.
Hmm.
And You know, it was a lot of left on reds. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel that. I tell people like, yes, I have a lot of collaborations, but understand I probably sent out 100 messages and like five people answered.
Mama, I wish it was like that. I sent out, and this is the God honest truth. I've sent out at that time. I sent out over 1,000 messages. Sent out probably within that 1,000, probably 500 actual products,
Wow.
and I probably only got 2 or 3 collaborations out of it.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's
That's
the
give or
truth.
take. So I tell people like, yeah, I have a bunch of people viewing my stuff, but what matters to me is the money. Is like, am I making money from this business? Because that's what proves success at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Like, is this business gonna be something that makes sense? And so yeah, you're putting your money, your effort, your time, all of that into it. Is it gonna return? What's your return on investment? And so like it's interesting because I think people don't realize like, yes, you message 1,000 people and then you got like a few responses and then you got a handful of collaborations out of it. But the transactional effect that has exponentially ends up giving you your brand awareness. And that those handful of people, then people see them doing it and they're like, oh, what is happening over there? Can I do?
Exactly.
And then suddenly it's exactly what happened. It's an explosive movement that everybody's talking about. So I
Mhm.
love that, you had that vision to, I'm not going to fucking do 100. I'm going to message thousands of people to see who will do this because I have no following right now, but I have a vision. And so I love the determination. And it sounds like you've just had determination after determination from having to relearn how to walk, having to be, building this fucking technology on pasties. I can't even imagine like while you're trying to I now that you're explaining it, I'm like, I need to see how you've done this because I see the pictures of it, but I'm like, man, I am just so interested in how like the brain work to say, let me get these things together. Definitely takes somebody with a vision to see that kind of stuff. And so
Yeah.
leads me to my next question. Is there, without giving away any secrets, what's next for NipTip? Is there any new products coming out? Is there going to be different collaborations that you're looking forward to? What can you tell our followers that are excited to see what's coming next for NipTip?
Um. Yeah. There's a lot that I so desperately am on the edge of my seat that I want to say, but unfortunately I can't.
Yes, don't give us the secrets yet, but tell us what you can.
But yes, I do have an array of some great products that I think a lot of you ladies would like. Um, like I told you before, I just finished the NipTip app, 100% designed, coded, and formatted by myself.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. And yeah, there might be some pretty big partnerships coming soon. My thing with partnerships, and I'm not scared to say this at all, I don't mind saying no to any huge organization. There's been a few big companies that we all know that reached out, and I really don't give a fuck about that. I do care about making great partnerships, especially if it's a huge company or organization, of course. But if you don't align with, if this is just a money grab for you and you see the potential of this part of this market and you're just gonna dwindle the Nip Tip brand down to the same exact other companies that's ripping off creators, I'm the one guy that will gladly say no to millions just to make sure the everyday person is cool.
I feel that. I was literally saying the last week, like, I don't think people realize in this point in my career, I have not done any paid promotions like when I do my content. If TikTok wants to do the little TikTok shop and it's something I've already bought, sure, I'll throw it up. I'll recommend it for people. I'll tell people where I got stuff on Amazon. But these are stuff I'm actually using. I'm not like, they're not giving me a whole paid promotion for it. I've had those offers where they're like, hey, let me give you money and my product so that you could promote it. And like you mentioned, if it's just a money grab, if it doesn't align with me and my values, I'm not going to do it. And ultimately, anything that I've actually promoted on my page is something I bought. and I've tried it and I tried out the product. The other day, I literally was invited out to go eat at a restaurant. They're like, let me know when you come. And my friend, I told her, let's go to this restaurant, but I did not let them know when I was coming because I want to experience it for what it is. And, there were some issues along the way. And then she's like, I thought you said they told you to come experience this. And I was like, they did, but I'm not going to tell them I'm here because I want to know people I'm recommending to like what they're going to experience. I don't want them to give me some red carpet. And I was like, and now I know I'm not going to come and tell them that I'm going to visit and promote them because it's not a place, that aligns with what I'm trying to do. And so it really is, I am okay with saying, you know what? Yeah, you are big and you have money and you could make me some money quickly, but that quick money does not align with my values.
Exactly.
And I'd rather look at the long run than take those quick little money grabs. So I love that you touched on, I don't give a fuck. I'll tell you no, because I feel the same way. I'm like, I don't care about your money. Take it over there. If it does not align with my values, there's no reason for us to be working together and for me to be promoting anything you're doing unless it's something that I really feel is valuable.
Exactly.
That,
I align with that.
yeah, I love that you're like, I'm not going to deal with that shit. I'm going to build my shit however I have to. So, I mean, I'm excited to hear what's to come because I already know how you have been behind the scenes doing all the work, and I could only imagine happening. So, I mean, if anybody listening on this podcast, wants to give you a follow, can you give us where we could find NipTip at and what they can do to support you guys?
Yeah, for sure. I'm NipTip is on all platforms, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, X as well. We also have a lot of people get this confused. We have a website called NipTip.store. A lot of people has been typing in .com, but we're .store. And I am working on the NipTip app that will be releasing soon. Actually, this is the first time I'm speaking about it publicly, so you kind of just got like an inside scoop.
Thank you for that.
And yeah, the best way to support the brand and NipTip, honestly, is just remember how strong you are. Remember that you there's only one of you, and there's no one as special as you.
I love that.
And for that, you deserve to get paid for it.
Thank you for that. They do deserve. I've been saying, now that women are in these industries and changing the game, we're creating all these different innovative ways to make money. And so I love that you allowed that product, the NipTip brand and all that they do to help empower these women that are trying to make money in their own ways. And at the end of the day, when you're able to get paid on something you love to do and have fun with, that's always a plus. So like
it's like you're not even working.
Yeah, I see all you that you're doing, and I'm like, damn, this dude is putting in fucking work, but he's also like in the flow. He has a vision, and he's stayed locked in his tunnel vision until it all happens. And I know we're seeing the process, but it sounds like we're not even seeing really what's scratching the surface. So I'm really
I haven't even started yet.
That's what I've been saying. I'm like, just wait. This is me barely even touching the surface, but I'm excited to hear all about NipTip in every country because I know that's the way it's going to expand, especially the way you're building the app. That's what I've been saying. Like, if you're not going to get digital, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities because there's so much opportunities to connect with so many people.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a digital world now.
I would love for people to connect with you and understand a little bit behind the scenes. I know you've been saying, I stay up all the time. Here's my little lightning round of questions. What do you prefer, coffee or energy drinks?
Oh my God, the old me would say a ridiculous answer right now. But to be honest with you, I don't drink coffee or energy drinks, so I wouldn't even know what that looks like.
Well, do you have a go-to drink in the morning?
Water. It used to be back in the day. It used to be a lot of alcohol and substances, but no, for the past couple of years of my life, it's just been water.
That's awesome. Resetting your body with a nice, refreshing cup of water is always needed.
So I've heard.
I know you mentioned, being out in Mount Lemmon and visiting the mountains here. So since I am a Tucsonan, I have to know, what do you prefer, the Tucson sunsets or the Mount Lemmon sunrises?
Ooh. Damn, that's a really good question. I would say the sunrises.
Sunrises. Those
I'll
ones
say
are,
the sunrises.
yeah. And I tell people, I'm like, you have to get up really early to see the whole part of it because it's
Yeah.
beautiful. It goes from black to the whole sunrise. So,
Yeah, and there's certain spots in Tucson where you can you can see the whole landscape
mhm,
of everything, and it's really cool. I used to catch the sunrise. There's like this secret tunnel
mhm.
that goes into like this community.
Yes.
I've had for the life of me, it's been years. I don't really remember it, but I would catch the sunrise there a lot, and it's just beautiful out there.
It is. And I've been telling people, I'm like, there's so many secret spots that people don't even realize that you could really just sit down and enjoy the view. So, I mean, I don't know the specific one. I have an idea of what you're talking about. I've been talking about secret tunnels and secret entrances and different little parts that you could park, but definitely whenever you're in Tucson, like I had mentioned, let me know when you're coming out here because we'll connect. I'll take you to my favorite taco place and you could take me to yours.
For
um,
sure, for sure. I have a friend out there. He had his own taco stand, his own mobile taco stand and stuff, and he's a really sick DJ. So I kind of want to do like a little nip tip party out there. So I might
if
be heading out sooner than later.
that can happen anytime, let me know so I could, promote it, connect with you guys. And with that being said, while we're here on this podcast, can you, if there's a dream person you want to collaborate with, who would that be? So we could tag them here.
Dream person. That's funny. Um, I, the only dream person that comes to mind, you might have to tag yourself because I would love to do one with you.
Oh, I love that. Well, I mean, that's so flattering. And well, then it's done. It's a done deal then, Joey. We're definitely going to be collaborating. And so, with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time on our podcast and giving everybody the 411 behind the scenes and telling us how locked in and determined you've been throughout this whole process because I've seen all of it happening kind of throughout social media. And it's so inspiring to see really what's happening all in the play of, I had to learn how to walk again. I had to freaking work on my mindset. I had to lock in and I had to hone in to do all this. Now, with that being said, you mentioned you have stuff you're still working on, but can you tell me what does success mean to you?
That's um that's actually one of the hardest questions I can ever answer. A lot of people equate success with like a monetary thing.
Mhm.
Um, I don't. Being in Miami, I've seen what success looks like, and a lot of the time, people that have the most money are kind of the most loneliest and saddest.
Yes,
Um, for me, success just looks like an extremely happy Sunday dinner with the people that you love around you.
I agree with that. I
Um, that's what success looks like to me.
That's amazing. Well, I love that. And I love that it's something that, you could attain every single day. Because I say the same thing, success to me is have I impacted somebody's life today? How I
Exactly.
did that, whether it's through dance, whether it's through answering a DM, whether it's through my business coaching, did I impact somebody today? Did I help the world? If I did that, then I had a successful day. And that's all that matters. And so I love that you touch on, it's just being with my free family and enjoying that because that's all that really people want is that community.
Exactly.
I love that you
Exactly.
this whole nip tip babes and all the nip tip community because like I said, this is gonna change the industry in ways that I think like you're starting to see, but man, I don't think you've even realized how crazy these women are about to go for all of these products. So I appreciate, taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you have to get back to coding your website and stuff. So I'll let you go here. But I just want to say again, thank you so much for giving our listeners an insight into your world. And for our listeners, if you appreciated this podcast and what we had to talk about, if you can go ahead and subscribe to our channel, go to our website at LiberarLa.com, and you could find our Facebook group where you could join in to our our community where, you know, we talk about all these creators, you connect with them, and you get to know exactly how these people got liberated in their own life. Thank you again for listening to this podcast. I hope to hear you next time. Sincerely, Alex James. All right, I'm going to stop the recording here, and then I'll just stop recording. There we go.